Syria used to meet its fuel needs, but facilities have been damaged in the war, and the main oil and gas fields are still outside government control. It has been importing 80% of its consumption, mainly from Iran, until shipments stopped in October because of tighter U.S. sanctions on Tehran. Government-controlled areas are suffering from a fuel shortage. Damascus has another oil-rich ally, Russia, but politics seem to be at play.
Russia is not assisting the Syrian government with fuel or oil. I think Russia is using this to put pressure on the Syrian government and its ally Iran. Russia wants the reins and say that the political, military and security decisions in Syria come from the Kremlin.
Syria has just granted Russia control of the main and strategic commercial port in Tartus on the Mediterranean for the next 49 years. It appears Russia is replacing Iran as Syria's main oil supplier. But Tehran is not just losing leverage in the energy sector. Iran's financial difficulties makes it harder for it to remain Syria's economic lifeline. The sanctions are affecting its ability to expand its economic influence. U.S. sanctions on Iran have worked in Russia's favor. It no longer has to compete with Tehran over the economic benefits in post-war Syria. Also, the sanctions contain Iran's influence and weakens its footprint, making it easier for Moscow to convince Gulf Arab countries and the West to reintegrate the Syrian government. In neighboring Lebanon, Iran's allies are in power, but sanctions are preventing them from maneuvering.
Legally, you cannot send fuel to Syria because the Lebanese government is not allowing permits for re-export because it considers that there are sanctions.
Syria has another friendly neighbor, Iraq, which is rich in oil, but authorities there haven't reopened the land trade route through the Abu Kamal crossing. The U.S. is believed to be playing a role to prevent a land corridor from Iran through Iraq and Syria to Lebanon.
Iran wants to open the road to send goods to Iraq, then to Syria, and then to the ports along the Mediterranean. The Americans are doing their best to close these crossings. They are still in control of a Tanaf base along the Syria-Iraq border.
Attempts to block Iran's regional goals are not new, and the recent sanctions may help contain Iran and its allies for now. But it's not clear what impact they'll have in the long term. Zeina, Khodr, Al Jazeera, Beirut.